Aquarius, this is your week ahead astrology forecast from Astrology Motivation by Born Without Boundaries. My name is Michelle. Welcome to Astrology Motivation Aquarius. We're going to break down all of the primary transits and aspects that are going to be impacting you based on where your sun is positioned in the sign of Aquarius. Now, if you're really clever and really into astrology, you can always take out the sun and put in where your moon is or where your ascendant is. But know that though the angle will be the same, which will make the aspect the same, it will not have the same combination or energy because the ascendant doesn't behave as the sun does, the same as the moon doesn't behave as either of them. So you would have to know the combination of the other planet with that moon or ascendant. Everything that I'm going to tell you is based on the sun's positioning. I'm going to break things down into 3 decans. That's taking the little sliver that is Aquarius on the zodiac wheel and breaking it down into 3 because that is basically the big determinant of if an aspect even forms or which aspect it is. For example, Aquarius ones that have their natal sun between 0 and 10 degrees, especially those with their natal suns closer to 5 to 0 degrees, are going to have a completely different relationship to a planet than the Aquariuses who have their natal suns at the very end, around 25 to 30 degrees. So much so that it could be the difference between a sextile and a square, which is a significant difference. The relationship is nowhere near the same. So we break it down into those 3. So Aquarius 1, you are those who are born with your natal sun between 0 and 10 degrees. Aquarius 2, those are those of you who are born with your natal sun between 10 and 20 degrees. And Aquarius 3, those are you who are born with your natal sun between 20 and 30 degrees. And I'll try to be as specific as possible, especially around those cusps, because it could be a little bit confusing. And where I can think of it, I'll translate it into dates of the month, in and around. So the biggest transit that's going to impact you this week has already happened. It happened yesterday on March 7th. Saturn has moved into Pisces. This is very significant because Saturn is your traditional ruler and has spent the past almost 3 years in your home sign of Aquarius. Now it has moved into Pisces. It's more of a significant move than people realize, though, because before Aquarius comes Capricorn, and Capricorn is also a home or a domicile of Saturn. And so Saturn's been very comfortable for the past almost 6 years. And now it is going into Pisces, where it finishes its journey around the zodiac. It means the next 3 years, Saturn will have taken a full turn around the zodiac, which karmically means a completeness, a completion of a life cycle, and I was gonna say that's why everybody follows their Saturn return, because that always signifies a completion of a life cycle. The total journey takes about 28 to 30 years, depending on the time frame or the era that you're in. And so it's like really a completion. It's like a turning of the tides in most people's lives. And now Saturn has made it all the way through the zodiac. Pisces is the end of the zodiac. So it's really a sense of completion, completing things, finishing them through understanding, through compassion, through open-mindedness, through open-heartedness. This is not where Saturn thrives, right? This is the ambiguous space where nothing is defined, and Saturn is the great definer. And so it'll become so much more open simply because of its vulnerability. And so what does Saturn define in Pisces? The undefinable, which can lead to absolute extraordinary brilliance. I think that this could lead to suddenly us wanting something new, or us at least least finishing out. We've used up all we have in this 3D world, and now we're churning through those parts that are on the outside. So new ideas, new creations, new inventions. In other words, dreams getting structured. People taking dreams seriously, taking intuition and psyche and spirituality seriously. All of these things possessing now more authority because Saturn is there. Now, for those of you who are born, this is where it breaks up. Aquarius ones. Okay, so hold on. I just want to make sure that I'm not reading this wrong. For those of you who are born at the very beginning of Aquarius season, hold on a second, I'm sorry. Yeah, you are going to, your natal sun, especially for those of you born between 0 and 5 degrees Aquarius, your natal sun is going to be sextile to Neptune. It's already been, because Neptune hasn't moved, but Neptune is getting even further down. It's going to be 25 degrees by the end of this week, and the sun will meet it in perfect conjunction by next Wednesday, and that is going to be sextile to your natal sun. This is a real, okay, in addition, you guys, Aquarius ones, your natal suns are square to the nodes. So square to the nodes, and then sextile to the very visionary and creative combined energy of Neptune and the sun. This week into next week is going to be a turning of the tides for you. It is going to be a visionary time for you. A time when you will be thinking so far outside the box, you'll probably surprise yourself. And great inspiration, great intuition, and great ideas can really kind of bring you over that cliff and make your life sort of change in directions that would even surprise you. For those of you who are born in Aquarius 2, so your natal sun is between 10 and 20 degrees Aquarius, your natal sun is square to Uranus, which is your ruling dignitary. So there's a sense of maybe challenge of the self, challenge of what your norm, challenging your own norms, challenging and rebelling against, maybe feeling frustrated in your own skin, getting bored, or finding that your mind is easily distracted because you want differences, you want changes with things that you thought were you, and you kind of accept it. So it's not all bad, because squares actually aren't bad. They're challenging, but when you face them directly, the best way to face that challenging energy is head on, not aggressively, but in terms of education. The best way to face any challenge is to say, what can I learn from you? What are you trying to teach me? And even if you're having the conversation with yourself, the fact that you're having the conversation is going to provide answers that will help release that energy of the square and help you expand and grow. Your suns are also sextile to this conjunction between Chiron and Jupiter that's going to be happening through April. So what does that mean? Well, it means growth and expansion through suffering, which could mean that the changes in your life, that it's a little bit bumpy, it's a little bit uncomfortable, especially since it's maybe reminding you of stuff that you've been through or stuff that you've gone through, or that you have to now confront or deal with this kind of these challenges or these complications that have happened in the past. But the fact that there's a sextile between your natal sun and this conjunction means it's definitely going to provide opportunities for you, opportunities for change, opportunities for growth, opportunities to overcome those areas where you have been stuck. So for the next couple of weeks or the next month and a half, I think this is a really great time for you to be challenged, because it's challenging you to get you unstuck. It's challenging you to move you forward and open up all the offerings that the universe really wants to offer you. Considering that Uranus is in Taurus, this could have something to do with your finances, just challenges when it comes to getting it all together, or different institutions might be changing or shutting down or restructuring their rules or laws, and that could challenge your norm or challenge what you kind of got comfortable with. But the sextile to Jupiter Chiron means that any suffering that's happening or that has happened, you're finding a practical use for, you're finding opportunities in, especially since this conjunction between Jupiter and Chiron is happening in Aries. It could be with your body, with your actual like physical body, the health of it, the look of it, taking care of yourself, any kind of actual pain that's been going on or happening, addressing that. You know, coming out and addressing that, maybe in unconventional ways. Maybe that's the challenge, is saying, hey, I need to go about this in a different way or look at this in a different way. And if you do, you have these opportunities to grow. And if it's not an ailment, like a physical ailment, I would say that honestly, it could just be taking initiative and moving forward. You'll have an opportunity to take initiative and move yourself forward. There just might be some challenges when it comes to shifting finances or other kinds of things that Uranus and Taurus might shift. So traditional structures, traditional value systems. I don't think that these are complications that are going to hinder you. I think that they're complications that are going to actually make you stronger and make you more capable and adept and I don't know, proficient in the subject matter or whatever is engaging it or involved. Aquarius 3s. This is really interesting, guys. I mean, I laugh, and maybe I shouldn't, but this is really interesting. So for those of you who are born between, you have your natal sun between 20 and 30 degrees Aquarius. Your natal sun is going to be sextile Venus and trine to Mars. And most of this week, Venus and Mars are sextile. Do you know where I'm going with this? There's a lot to do with being valued and romance. There's a lot of opportunity here with between Venus and Mars for most of this week for there to be just sort of electric energy, sexual tension in the air. But the fact that your natal suns are going to be sextile to Venus and trine to Mars while the sextile between the two of them is happening means that there's some opportunity for a whole shebang of harmony and vitality when it comes to your romantic relationships. This is a time of confidence. This is a time of tranquility. It's a time to take any difficult situations that you've been having and turning them into wonderful situations. It's a time to get unstuck and find a real leap forward when it comes to that area of your life. And even if you don't want to date anybody, it could just be understanding yourself in relationships better and having sort of just enlightened moments. I think that most of this week is going to be pretty dynamic and pretty good for you when it comes to a romantic time and romantic relationships. Maybe, I don't know, lots of opportunity, lots of attraction. Yeah, I would say that for this entire week, at least, to the end of the week, because at the very end, around Tuesday, Mars and Venus move enough apart so there's not a real strong sextile between them, but both of them would still be sextile, would still have the aspects to your natal sun. So I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm thinking that this is, it's like you have an opportunity to take action and relax about something and feel good about something or make something okay. I don't know what that something is. I didn't go that deep into it, but all I'm saying is this is a really fortuitous week when it comes to your romantic relationships, your romantic connections, your romantic proclivities, your attractiveness. Yeah, there's just sort of a charmed week here for you guys. I love you all, Aquarius, and I hope that you will stop by Born Without Boundaries Tarot and watch your weekly tarot card reading. Remember that that is for all of you, and it's for sun, moon, and rising sign. This is a weekly astrology forecast, so please remember to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload your favorite content. It's the same schedule here as it is over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot. Aquarius comes out every Wednesday. I will no longer be doing the weekly astrology forecast because I'm doing these every single week, so I kind of don't really need to, but I am doing daily astrology readings, not necessarily daily actually, but Monday through Friday I'll try to be here. And if you want to join the membership to this channel, it's now available to you. If you are a member, I will take personal tarot card questions and personal astrology questions if you are from members who are online in the chat at that time. So if I see that little badge by your name, I will know that you're a member. So if you're interested, consider that. Definitely subscribe and ring that notification bell, and I will see you guys next week.